this regular city council meeting on Tuesday, March 23rd. The orders to arise. Have an invitation followed by the pledge. Kenny, you lead.
Heavenly Father, Lord, we just thank you for this day. We thank you for all the things that you've given us, Lord. We thank you for the moisture, Lord, and we just ask that you just be with us tonight. Lord, as we conduct city business, Lord, just give us guidance and wisdom, Lord, and just forgive us where we fail, Lord. We just ask these things in Christ Jesus' name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for joining us. Janine, is anybody registered for public comment?
No, sir.
Mitch, do you have any introduction of new employees?
None here. I got some, but they can't do.
What department?
Got a new hire in public work or sanitation, or no, public works, I mean. And I think that's it. Y'all have any new hires?
I have two dispatchers, but they're not good.
Next, we will consider and approve the minutes of the February 22nd and March 1st meeting. If there are no additions or corrections, we'll get a motion to approve the minutes as well.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Buddy, seconded by Kenny. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries. Next, we will consider and approve the monthly departmental report. If you have a question, please identify the page.
I have a question. We didn't get a code enforcement or animal control report this month.
I thought
Someone knows that? Unless I just overlooked it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, we did.
In a different order.
Yes.
It's right in front of EMS.
Huh?
Right in front of any EMS.
page 27.
Yeah, it's got some individual kind of trying to help place some of these dogs that have euthanized. I think it might help a little bit. I know I see their pictures on the social media and stuff. I mean, hoping that would kind of help a little bit, but having to put as many down.
Other questions? If there are no other questions, can we get a motion to approve the departmental report?
I'll make a motion to approve our department reports.
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Buddy, seconded by Eric. Is there any further discussion? None. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Next, we'll consider and approve the February expenses. If there are any questions, can we get a motion to approve the February expenses?
Make a motion to approve February expenses.
I'll second the motion.
Motion's been made by Kenny, seconded by Buddy. Is there any further discussion? None. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Next, we'll have a presentation and council acceptance of Webb Weather Rights 2019-2020 annual financial report. Mr. Webb, if you would approach the podium and floor, please.
Okay, if you'll take a look at page 1, which is our independent auditor report. And in the first paragraph there, we indicate that we have audited the city's books and records for the year ending September 30, 2020. The next paragraph states that the management is responsible for the financial statements. Our responsibility was to issue an opinion. On the second page there is our opinion paragraph, and that's an unqualified opinion. On page 7 is a net position table, which indicates, which includes governmental activities and the business type activities. And as you can see there, it shows the excuse me, unrestricted net position there of 2020 of $476,000 for the governmental activities, which is an increase over 19, and the business type of $3193, which is also an increase for 20 from 2019 to 2020. On the next page, it shows the change in net position for each one of those, as you can see, and your net ending position down there at the bottom, you can see also increased. So positive variance for that, positive increase. Let's turn on over now to page 17. This is your general fund. And this shows your unassigned fund balance there in the general fund of $740,000. On the next page, on page 19, it shows the revenues and expenditures. Revenues of 4.8, expenditures of 5.3. Spent a little more than you took in, $465,000. However, it does show that your ending fund balance there for total governmental funds of $1,003,000. On the water side, on page 21, it includes BCDC also, but under the water there, you can see your total assets of $11 million and your total liabilities of $1 million and your unrestricted fund balance there in the water fund of $5,900,000. On page 22 is the operating revenues and expenses. Your total operating revenues of 3.5, operating expenses of 1.4. And as you can see right there, that includes $234,000 worth of depreciation expense. That'll bring us on over here to the notes. And, I'll call your attention to page 37, which is the capital assets under governmental activities. At the middle of the page there, you can see the total capital assets being depreciated are $12 million. Depreciation accumulated at $10 million, so your book value $2.6 million. So not a whole lot of book value there on those capital assets in the governmental activities. The business type activities, you can see your total capital assets of $25 million, accumulated depreciation of 13, gives you a book value of 11.7 million. And depreciation was recorded in those departments there, as you can see, administration, police, fire, etc. On page 55 is the general fund budget. You can see the, under revenues, total revenues there budgeted was $4 million, took in 4.4, so you had a positive variance on that. On your expenditures there, you had budgeted $5 million and you only spent 4.6, so you had a positive variance on that one also, in terms of budget. That takes us on over to other supplementary information on page 69, which is your schedule of delinquent taxes receivable. And on page 70 there, you can see your current year levy was $1.2 million. You collected just over $1 million. And you added $78,000 to the delinquent row. But your delinquent row, as you can see, beginning was 196 and ending was 207. So you collected some of the prior years. So you only had about an $11,000 increase there in the delinquent row. And that brings me to the overall compliance and internal control section. We had no findings and we had no question costs. We were provided all the information we requested on a timely basis. The mayor, the city manager and Andrew and their bunch, they're doing an excellent job of keeping the books and records in order. And we found everything in order.
Thanks, Steve. Anybody have any questions for him? Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Janine, you'll need a motion accepting this audit, correct?
That's the way it's worded, yes, sir.
So we get a motion to accept the web and rights audit.
I'll make the motion that we accept Web and Rights audit.
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Buddy, seconded by Kenny, that we accept the 2019-2020 audit. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next, we will consider and approve directive regarding annual audit for the 2020 to 2021 fiscal year. Mitch?
Yeah, you have a letter there from Web and Rights, Steve, and I hate to see it go. We worked well together, and I'm thinking back, I can't remember a time I actually had to hire an auditor. I've always had an auditor that I came there and said, anyway, we're going to be looking for some companies to, CPAs to maybe give us a proposal, and that'll be a council decision for a little later on, and we can get some, I've asked for some, one anyway, and we'll be coming back to you to see, which one we want to use. Right now, I don't know any procurement requirements for that. I don't think there is.
No,
You just
there's
pick
not.
one. So, we'll bring that together if that's your desire.
How many years have you done it, Steve?
Oh my gosh, probably, I'm gonna say somewhere between 30 and 40, probably.
Thank you all for,
Hey, I would just wanna say thanks to y'all and all these before y'all, and it was a tough decision on our part, but auditing has become more complicated. And it takes a lot of, it's a full-time job is what it is, especially when you have as many audits as we have. We turned all our audits back, every single one of them. We're not going to be doing any more auditing. And because of that, and because if you're going to do auditing, you got to have someone that's going to take care of it full-time, prepare, et cetera, and there's so many, you know, not only are there a lot of regulations on y'all's side, but there's a bunch on our side too, as far as putting it together and, you know, this kind of thing. So it just takes a lot of effort. And anyway, I appreciate the business, and we're not going anywhere. We're still right down there. Y'all want to give us a call, we'd be glad to help with the books or anything else, anything except the audit. So anything y'all need, just give us a call, and we'll do whatever we need to do. So, all right, thank y'all. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve.
Next, we will consider and approve the directives regarding, next we'll consider and approve the lease agreement for renewal with our place at 305 Belt Avenue, and Mitch, you had said that this isn't ready.
Yeah, they just sent me a request yesterday asking to wait till next month. It doesn't expire actually till next month, so they will just study it a little more and get back to us. Tried not to make a lot of changes to the old contract, but I guess it was substantial enough they wanted to take it to their board to discuss it. I've been really impressed with their plans. We got some pictures in there. They're kind of switching from boxing to cornhole, which I think probably made it a little safer than kind of family-oriented stuff. And they've got a lot of people in it. So I'd recommend that we table this till next month.
We just won't take any more action.
Just no action.
Next, we'll consider and approve acceptance of donated property at 311 South Galveston, Blair Edition, Block 2, Plot 7, property ID 17344.
This is one of those kind of unique situations. The guy pays his taxes, so it's not on the seizure list, but we've got a dilapidated house there on Galveston Street there in the Dunbar District, and the guy wants to, after we told him, send in the letter 10 days, and he said, I just don't have the money to do it, and I really don't want to keep the property, lives in the Metroplex, so he offered to donate it to us. With the seizure houses, we'll tear them down, and we can't really file a lien on them because they're ours. So the only option with this property that's owned by an individual would be to file a lien on it, and the lien would be probably about $3,000. So one single lot in that subdivision that has been selling for a lot less than $3,000. So what I would recommend is that we go ahead and accept the property, we get title in our name, $200, and tear it down and put it back up for sale. We'll lose money on it, but I mean, we're not out to make money on these houses we're tearing down. Y'all budget money every year. We get $20,000 from that line item, plus another maybe $10,000 or $15,000 from resale of seized properties that the county and the school let us keep. We put that in a lot elimination fund is what we call it. And anyway, this is just pushing harder to try to get through these things. We've done over 60 houses, and on this particular one, it looks like probably a good option for us to tear it down and resell it.
Discussion or motion to accept the donated property? motion that we accept the donated property, provided we get clear title. We can make sure of that.
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Eric, seconded by Buddy. Is there any further discussion? If none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Next, we will consider and approve an ordinance of the City of Littlefield adopting amendment number 2 to the original budget of the City of Littlefield for the fiscal year 2020 to 2021, funding and accounts in the budget due to unforeseen situations.
This is the documentation for the action you took on that special meeting to purchase compactor, budget amendment, and pretty well self-explanatory. Couldn't really do that at the time because we didn't know the amount. So now that we know the amount, this is the documentation for that budget amendment. It's already approved. It's just this is the paperwork to make it documented.
Make a motion we approve the ordinance amending the budget for the purchase of compactors. Here, a second. Questions? Second.
When are they supposed to have this thing done?
I thought possibly the end of this week, but it looks like probably next week. They'll be shipping the wheels and the bar that goes in front, possibly this week. And then, because they get those wheels from a separate manufacturer, but they said they'll be painting it and getting it ready to ship to us next week. And sooner the better. We really need it.
You make it up there to look at this?
I did, yeah. I hired a diesel mechanic we paid him $180 or something for one cat to meet up there. And he went through it and he said he didn't see a problem with it. I mean, for what it's worth, I made pictures and stuff, but it's just rebuilding it from scratch. Looks like rebuild engine, rebuild transmission, rebuild everything. Not a lot to it, really. You get down to it, but it's just big equipment, Don't know anything on the insurance yet, but they're having trouble even finding anybody that can give an estimate on repairing of our machine, but I don't imagine it's total.
I'll go ahead and second the motion.
This has been made by Eric, seconded by Kenny. Is there any further discussion? None. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned.